Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app, O'Connor and Company.
5:07. It's Tuesday morning, and yes, I'm still sore, but it's all right. It's fine. It's a good sore. There was a guy who was running in front of me. I think he was like a apparition or something, a vision from God, because he would always just sort of show up in front of me. I never remembered him passing me during the race, at various times, but often I would pull up and I would start, and here's this guy always in front of me. Back of his shirt said, "Pain is just weakness leaving your body."
Oh, God. A gift from God. Oh.
I kid you not. That's what he had on the back of his shirt, and it's like, oh.
I have a story like that, but I know you got to get through the run through, so I'll tell you after.
Coming up at 7:05, John Reed, 1 week away from being elected lieutenant governor, God willing. 7:35, Nick Freitas, old friend of the program. He knows a thing or two about having an election ripped from his grasp by Abigail Spanberger. He was down there in that special session yesterday, which was a complete bleep show. And at 8:05, General Jack Keane on Trump's trip to Asia. It's Larry O'Connor, and alongside me, my co-host every Monday through Wednesday. People often refer to her as the Shannon Bream of WMAL. I just like to call her the one and only Julie Gunlock. Good morning, Jules.
Good morning,
I don't know,
Larry.
when did that whole Shannon Bream of WMAL thing start? Was that...
I think this morning. Yeah, that was nice.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yes?
My running story is, I told you yesterday, I did 10-miler, nearly died.
Yeah.
Years ago, nothing recent. And there was a woman in front of me. I'm going to sound mean, but she was a larger woman.
Sure.
And she was running faster than me. And it made me so mad, and I could not catch up to her. It was the most motivating thing. I couldn't catch her. She was fast.
Yeah.
Fast and big. Yeah. And it was the most because I told myself, you can't let there be a big gap. You've at least got to keep her pace. Right. I couldn't pass her, but I was like, and I honestly was so mad because, anyway, she did better than me. But that was motivating. You always find this person that's going to motivate you.
100%. Yes. There was. I kid you not.
I am now that woman's size, by the way. Just so you, I like.
When I was finishing the race, I was in the back of I was euphoric and I was happy and it was great. It did nothing mattered. Nothing mattered except I did recognize at the moment that I was finishing the race at the same time as literally disabled people were finishing the race. But again, these are disabled people who run marathons all the time, including a blind and deaf woman who was running with a guide. No, it was incredible. It is fantastic. And she was in great shape, and her guide who was running with her was in great shape.
But I can't tell you the number of excuses I come up with, and here is a blind and deaf woman.
Exactly.
Doing the race. I literally am like, it's a little bit cold out.
She had a sign on the back that said blind/deaf, and she was tethered to a person who was like shouting at people, "Okay, make way, make way." It was great. It was wonderful, and I was thrilled. But it's at the same time, I knew it would be a good punchline for you this week as we were doing the show. Yeah, I finished the marathon with the disabled runners, but it's okay.
Right. Keeping it real, Larry. Keeping it real.
And then there are mental disabilities, as we're seeing witnessed down in Richmond right now. Julie, if I may segue gloriously to the special session, 1 week before the election. We'll get to the absolute, as I said, bleep show that was happening in Richmond there and the pure craven politics of this. The Democrats in Richmond are like the Democrats in Sacramento, which I guess means Democrats everywhere are sort of acting the same. But we had an announced endorsement yesterday that I think we really do need to pause and reflect on. The NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the oldest civil rights organization in the country dating back to slavery, which, again, despite the politically incorrect moniker, is all about the advancement of African Americans in this country. The NAACP, dedicated to the advancement of African Americans, endorsed the whitest woman to run for statewide office in America, Abigail Spanberger, over African American Winsome Sears. Can we now
African American legal immigrant,
yes,
Marine.
Her sin is to not be Democrat.
That's right.
Her sin is not to be liberal. Can we please today, on this 28th day of October, in the year of our Lord 2025, can we now proclaim the end of racial politics in America? Race clearly means nothing to those who told us race meant everything. The NAACP, just a couple of days after Barack Obama endorsed the whitest woman ever to run state. No, listen, I'm not saying they have to endorse Winsome Sears. I'm saying maybe you should sit this one out. Maybe you should sit this one out if your only endorsement is to the white woman over the black woman. What does any of this mean?
Also, don't forget, Larry, just a couple years ago, okay, we were in the anti-racist phase of American history, where actually the only acceptable thing for Abigail Spanberger to do is to stand aside and allow her black colleague to take the governorship, right? If Abigail Spanberger was truly an anti-racist, she wouldn't run. That's the rules. Those were the rules, right? And so not only is she running, but she's got the endorsement of an organization, you know, heretofore there to advance people of color.
Right.
And they just aren't doing that anymore because they're captured. They're just an adjunct, just like the media, just like the universities, just like Hollywood, just like every major institution in America has become an adjunct, the teachers union, you name it, an adjunct of the Democrat Party.
If you can just drill down further on this, because I do think people either forget or they weren't sort of inundated in this evil ideology that was so rampant during the, I would say, 2017 to 2024, led by the likes of Robin DiAngelo. She wrote this book, White Fragility. And all of your neighbors there in Alexandria, every board member on every school board in Northern Virginia, White Fragility, written by a white woman about racism. And the subtitle is Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. Every Democrat politician put a picture up on Instagram with White Fragility sitting on the bookshelf right behind her or on the coffee table.
In Alexandria, Virginia, the school board members got matching T-shirts saying anti-racist, I'm an anti-racist, matching T-shirts, and went to the school board meetings to convey to parents, this is where we are, don't get up at that podium and question us or we'll call you a racist. That's how bought into this system they were.
And the only appropriate thing for a white person to, especially white women who really bought into this, was to just shut their mouths and give the space over to the black person.
And more than that, they had to admit Sarah Rao, who's a sort of race baiter, just a total grifter, she actually gave dinner parties. She would host dinner parties for white women. And they'd sit around the table and Sarah Rao would say, the only thing that you are here to do is to admit that you are a racist. You had to say you were a racist. You had to say it. And if you didn't say it, you were a racist. I mean,
it was
honestly,
an indication. Yes. If you sat there and started to list all of the reasons, the provable evidence to show that you are not racist, you're doing is emphasizing how racist you are.
That's right.
And now we've reached the point on this 28th day of 2025, 20th day of October 2025, the NAACP and Barack Obama is pushing aside Winsome Sears, who would be the first. And again, race doesn't matter. I don't care that she's black. I don't care that she could be Asian.
We're
she
just
could be
applying their rules.
Right. They're setting her aside so that they can elevate Abigail Spanberger to that spot. That's it. It's official. You can tell everybody when you go to work today, go up to your HR head who runs the DEI training every quarter and say, oh, we don't need this anymore. There's no more racism ever in America anywhere because the NAACP has decided to endorse Abigail Spanberger. It's 5:15.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
Your next $1,000 could be one text away. It's $5K a day on WMAL.
Oh, my goodness. Literally, and again, I don't mean this clearly race is. Here I am talking about how race doesn't matter to me. You know, and it doesn't. But if I explain all the reasons why and prove that it doesn't mean it, I mean, I literally deliberately brought mixed race children into this world. I'm the worst white nationalist ever. I mean, God, what an idiot.
That's all right.
My kids are mixed race. You know, what kind of moron white supremacist brings in mixed race children to the world? That's fine.
Great planning, Larry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Nazi. The first thing I'm going to do is spoil my pure white blood. So it's but again, by saying that, I'm pointing out how racist I am. That's fine. Am I overstating the case when you look at Abigail Spanberger and every white woman who's run for national office or statewide office before her? She literally is. I mean, she's translucent. She's so white. If you showed me a picture, say, "Hey, show me the whitest woman you could describe," it's Abigail Spanberger. She's translucent.
Look, it's not just the you're right, translucent skin and super blonde hair. It's the Talbot's outfits, you know. It's the Talbot's outfits.
It's the whole costume.
The whole thing. She
it's
comes
the
off
privilege
as this,
too, if I may.
Yes, you know, this. I hate to say this, but like it is every McLean PTA, Fairfax County PTA mom, and it's hiding. It is cosplay. It is sheep, and it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know, really kind of dressing up as this totally reasonable mom who just wants the best for people.
Yeah.
And yet hiding her absolute disdain for parents, her disdain for the Constitution. It's chilling, but she definitely has that costume down.
One must wonder what exactly Winsome Sears did or stands for to get the NAACP to rise in objection to her candidacy for governor. What exactly? I mean, you don't really think of Winsome Sears as some sort of, you know, firebrand sort of
MAGA. Yeah.
Type.
Well, she's pro-life, Larry.
Okay.
She's
that means
pro-life.
that she wants more black babies born. That's a good thing.
Yes. She's limited government. You know.
Okay, that means she wants more black entrepreneurs to be able to start their own
She-
businesses without the government intruding on it.
Right. You realize the NAACP doesn't think this way, though.
Right. Well, and then but coming up this way. By the way, anyone who tells you that Abigail Spanberger's running away with this and she's up by 10 points and everything's great. Number one, they had to call an emergency session of the House of Delegates and the Senate to pull Winsome Sears off the campaign trail. That's desperation. And number two, this weekend in Norfolk, Barack Obama will be campaigning for Abigail
And
Spanberger.
every
I assure
national
you.
figure, too. I mean, Pete
Yes.
Buttigieg, like they're all coming in to rescue Abigail.
This is not a sign of confidence, I assure you. And let's not forget, the last time Barack Obama swooped in to try to drum up support for a candidate, it was for Kamala Harris. And he had a very stern message, especially for black voters, black men in particular. Take a listen to cut one here.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Unbelievable.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. That's not acceptable. This shouldn't even be a question.
Shouldn't even be a question. In other words, and read between the lines, it's not so hard to read between the lines there. You black men need to step up and vote for Kamala Harris. If she were a man, you'd vote for him. Because it's not even a question, he says. So now here you've got a white woman and a black woman, and he's campaigning for the white woman. So somebody's written a meme of him giving this lecture, but then putting in a new quote saying, okay, guys, this time I need you to vote for the white woman over the black woman. Don't ask questions. Just do what I tell you. I love this. There's a TikToker who pointed out the Obama endorsement here. Cut two.
Now, y'all help me make this make sense. Last year, I saw Obama chastise black men saying, y'all not supporting this Indian woman. Remember? Kamala, who wasn't black. Is not black. You know, is not. Okay? She's Hindu. She's Indian. But I watched Obama sit there and chastise black men saying, y'all don't want to support this woman. But at the same time, turn around, go to Virginia and campaign against a real natural black woman.
Ooh, that's right. That's where we are today.
Yeah, make it make sense, Larry.
I can make it make sense. The Democrats are running scared right now. They see the momentum. They know the polls. They know the numbers. And Winsome Sears and the entire Republican ticket is in a sprint to the finish line right now. Don't let up. Election day is 1 week from today. Coming up at 7:05, John Reed, candidate for lieutenant governor. Right now it's 5:23.
Oh, dear. There are some big changes over at CBS, and the left is going bananas. Totally predictable. We'll give you the latest. Keep it here. It's 5:30.
WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. WMAL. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 5:37. It's O'Connor and Company. And before I rush into our programming here, I just want to point out I've been admonished that by saying Election Day is 1 week away and the home stretch and everything, please, if you want to vote, you go vote today. Hell, this is Virginia. Early voting is going on right now, been going on weeks now, and you can do your early voting right up until Saturday, November 1st at 5 p.m. All right, so silly me, by pointing out that Election Day is a week away, may have sent the message that you can't vote until a week from now. Oh, it's Virginia. Vote whenever you want.
You're speaking to me, Larry. I do Election Day. I'm a purist.
Well, see... But what happens if you die?
I get it.
We need your vote. Make a plan to vote. Coming up later this morning at 7:05, John Reed will reiterate that message. Fresh off of his victorious debate against artificial intelligence. Hush me. John Reed joining us at 7:05. 7:35, Delegate Nick Freitas, and at 8:05, General Jack Keane on Trump's visit to Asia. An amazing scene before our military in Japan today. Incredible images coming out of Asia with President Trump. That's all coming up. We talk about the media quite a bit here. And, we've got some good news about CBS News. As you know, Barry Weiss and her Free Press was purchased for $150 billion? Is that how much?
I don't
know. No, 150 million.
Billion. No, it was 150 million.
150 million. I mean, these days. It's a lot more than we're making. Barry Weiss, who got drummed out of the New York Times because she was, an icky moderate liberal. And she's, conservative journalist Barry Weiss. There's nothing conservative about Barry Weiss, okay, everybody?
There's nothing.
Except maybe her stock portfolio now that she's got 150 mil to play with. Yes. That said, Barry Weiss was too right-wing MAGA for the New York Times. She got drummed out of that place by the Mean Girls. So she decided to start her own thing called the Free Press. 5 years later, CBS News purchases it and puts her in charge as editor-in-chief of CBS News. Trust me, I love the harmony of that. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's great.
Yeah, just very quickly, if you're not familiar with the Free Press, and I think there are plenty of people who are not familiar with the Free Press. Mm-hmm. We're very, if you're sort of in the media world,
it's
you know
what
the Free
inside. Yeah.
It's super inside. But the Free Press, let me tell you, people were flocking to go work for the Free Press. I mean, tons of journalists were so tired of the culture of cancellation within the mainstream media that they got some really good journalists working over at the Free Press, and there was just a buzz about it. But go ahead. I just wanted to.
She got some good investment from Peter Thiel mostly, but a couple of other investors. There's rumors that Elon Musk may have put some money into it. She built an infrastructure, and then she started hiring, and she had a hunch. She said, you know what? I can't be alone. I know that there are other journalists who hate the toxic workplace and the atmosphere on their job where these DEI right out of college interns are running the place because of their grievances that they're bringing bringing with them from journalism school. And I bet that there's some real writers and real reporters who would love to do some real work. And she was right. And she built a huge subscription base. She used new media and Substack and podcasts to build it up. And then now she's running CBS News. And yesterday it was announced through some leaks that she's got some major shakeups ahead for CBS News, including bringing balance to the way they report the news. That's what David Ellison, the new CEO of CBS owner Paramount Skydance, asked for. Said, listen, we've got these brands, CBS News, Tiffany Network, 60 Minutes, and they've drifted so far off the edge that nobody watches them anymore except for people in the Upper East Side of Manhattan and in Washington, D.C. So here are the targets according to the New York Post. Scott Pelley, pack your bags, dude. Start cleaning out your desk. You're going to be gone. Also, basically, everybody currently employed at 60 Minutes needs to recognize that they're on borrowed time and they need to justify.
What will we do without Leslie Stahl?
Right, exactly.
God.
Bill Whitaker, the correspondent who conducted the Kamala Harris interview, he might be on the way out as well. Of course, because he helped oversee the editing of that interview. And yes, 83-year-old Leslie Stahl could very well be seeing the end of the road. Also, can I point out, she's 83 years old. Leslie, spend some time with the great-great-grandchildren, for God's sake. Why do people do this? Will you make me a promise, Julie? A pinky promise. We're friends. We're besties at this point.
Yeah.
If I'm doing this at 83, would you please unplug all of the electrics in my...
I will put you in a coma, personally. I will hit you over the head with a hammer. Seriously, what is wrong with you?
Julie will be putting a pillow over my face as I sleep. I'm against euthanasia, but that might be justified.
I'll just knock you out. I won't kill you. Just unconscious for a couple hours. What is wrong with people? Have they heard of Italy?
It's also rumored that she wants to steal Brett Baer from Fox News Channel as potentially the new anchor of CBS News. He just signed a contract, didn't he, like a year ago? So that would be a hell of a buyout, man. I mean, Brett, by the way, Brett already just so you know, not hurting for dough. I'm just saying. Remember the house he just sold in D.C. to move down to West Palm Beach?
Do you think he'll stop coming on the show? I'm always jealous because he's always coming in on Friday. So I have a little resentment for Patrice. I'll admit, I love you, Patrice.
I'll be honest. Well, he's been taking a couple of weeks off because he was working on a book, but now the book is out, and I'm sure he'll be back because he knows our audience likes to buy books.
And he'll talk to Patrice.
And then I'll ask him. I'll say,
never my day. Never.
After CBS News hires you and gives you,
I notice you're avoiding this subject, but whatever, that's fine.
They're also. You get Joe DeGenova, okay? Trust me.
That's true.
You're the envy of all. Brett Baer, by the way, said, "I'm signed on to Fox. Very happy at Fox. But contracts can be bought out." There's also a rumor that she's eyeing Barry Weiss is eyeing Scott Jennings, the voice of reason, over on CNN. We will talk about that in a moment. And, by the way, it looks like there's already one high-profile CBS News left-winger who is on the way out. No rumors here. It's happening. I'll tell you who that is in just a moment. It's 5:44.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 till 9 on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
I don't know.
Where's the hammer? Is it on the... Go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering.
Lawrence O'Donnell will not be hired by Barry Weiss at CBS News. But just shockingly, here's some breaking media news for everybody. Lawrence O'Donnell still has the show on MSNBC. Who knew?
I did not know that.
Well, yeah, he's still doing his thing. And last night he turned his ire on Scott Jennings. He's very angry that CNN would hire one person to have one opinion that ran counter to everyone else on cable news. Here's Lawrence complaining about Scott.
And now CNN eagerly pays a Trump supporter to lie on CNN every day and night for Donald Trump. CNN did this during the first Trump presidential campaign and presidency. CNN regularly paid Trump supporters to lie about Trump on CNN, but the CNN regime then realized that was a mistake. And they stopped doing it. They stopped paying for lies. But then CNN got a new head. The head of CNN for the last 3 years, hired by the Trump-supporting owner and operator of CNN, is an Englishman who thinks paying Scott Jennings to lie about Donald Trump is money very well spent. Scott Jennings, who used to be an aide to Senator Mitch McConnell, was not always a rabid, lying Trump supporter. When he first started appearing on television, he was capable of criticizing
Can
some
you
of the more extreme
imagine
Trump.
going on the air here on WMAL and spending an entire segment complaining about another radio station's programming?
Okay, well, yeah, I can actually imagine myself doing that, but I'm kind of a complainer. As you know from every staff meeting, Larry, probably not the right question for me, but
right. It was
no,
rhetorical.
I'm kidding. Of course not.
It's ridiculous. It's I hear that and I think, oh, maybe I'll turn over to CNN and see what's going on there. It's going to be a lot more interesting than this blowhard. Yeah. So Scott Jennings, who Lawrence O'Donnell does not like, and that's a badge of honor, apparently is being eyed by Barry Weiss in some capacity for CBS News, maybe as a regular contributor, an analyst. It wouldn't be with his own show, I don't think, but who knows? Who knows what their plans are over at CBS News? That could be fun, at least to have him on the round table there at Face the Nation. He could probably do both gigs at the same time, CNN and CBS News. That happens sometimes. Meanwhile, we do have one bona fide exit at CBS News. The highly respected and supremely boring John Dickerson will be leaving CBS News. Yes.
Thank
John
God there's
Dickerson.
a picture here in my show prep because I would not know who that was. If can I just say back up just for one quick sec and talk about Jennings? Look, I'm a huge fan of Scott Jennings. He does incredible work. I think he is the most talented person they have over at CNN. I adore him. But what makes him so compelling, and what hopefully Barry Weiss is sort of conveying to the people over at CBS, is it's that he's so unusual. His opinions, which represent half of the American public, more than half the American public, is you just don't see it on these but corporate media shows. You don't see it.
Yeah.
And so, I understand wanting to take Scott Jennings, but there's plenty of other people who are right of center that could convey that kind of thinking if they would just have them on. They don't. They have people like Alyssa Farrar, Jonah Goldberg. Those are not, that is not representing
Steve
what is
Hayes.
currently, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're right. I know. It's just sort of, here's what you do. You try to make headlines when you're taking over a network, and you try to get,
Sure.
big names, and sort of you need to let the executive suite and the stockholders know that you mean business, and it's going to be hard to immediately convey to those entities, we're going to start grooming our own Scott Jennings, and we're going to be building up our. I get that. You want a couple of high-profile big names that you steal from the competitors, because not only are you helping your brand and moving your brand more to the center like you promised to, but you're also hurting your competitors. See, now they don't have Brett Baer anymore. They don't have CBS News, and they don't have Scott Jennings. So that's a good thing. By the way, just before we won't, apparently there's a whole lot of official announcements to be made on Wednesday. We're looking at that for tomorrow. There will be a lot of official announcements with regard to the future of CBS News. But we do know for sure that John Dickerson, it has been confirmed, will be leaving CBS News. John Dickerson, highly respected here in Washington and in Manhattan, which tells you everything you need to know. Here, I'll give you an example. Here was John Dickerson going on the Stephen Colbert Show right after the 2024 election when Donald Trump won the presidency. Here.
How would you explain that to a 14-year-old today? How would you explain this election?
I'll try not to think about my boys, because...
Yes.
That was him fighting back the tears.
Good God.
And choking up because of his boys, having to explain to his boys how Donald Trump won the presidency. That's John Dickerson. He was the anchor of CBS News and one of the stalwarts at 60 Minutes. Yeah. So you go, Barry Weiss. Go get him. But everyone, remember, if you see some media analyst calling Barry Weiss a conservative journalist, turn the dial. They don't know what they're talking about. It's 5:53.